This is a new Citroën C5 Aeros and it's a little bit like a chaise longue because, well, it's French and it's supposed to be big and comfy. Now, it's an alternative to the selection of cars. Now, in this video, I'm going to tell you how it compares to those and if it's any good. To do that, I'm going to talk you around the exterior square. I'm going to show you the inside. Stop saving energy. I'm trying to do blooming video. We'll see how practical it is. We're going to need some more suitcases and I'll take it for a drive. Also tell you what's good about it. Which animal has the largest testicles and what's not so good about it. I'm Matt Watson and you're watching Car Wow. Visually from the front, this is quite a smart looking car. It's got some like heft to it. It's big, it's chunky, like the light design. We've got Citroën's new logo there. Lots of grille action going on and some light contours in the paintwork. Speaking of which, there is only one standard color and it is red. Everything else you have to pay extra for. Moving down the side, alloy wheels start at 18 in and then they rise up to 19. So, you can get these optional 20s. You have black surrounds over the wheels with this contouring. Yet again, there's quite a few contours to make it look a bit chunky and off-road, even though it's not really an off-roader at all, is it? And then you have some black plastic cladding down the side there. You can pay extra to go for a two-tone roof. You can't really see it on this car because it's dark blue. And then you got the black roof bit there, moving towards the back. Actually, before we do that, some people might think that Citroën are like a cheapy brand, but the door shut is not cheap sounding. That's pretty nice that. And normally when you get to the back doors, they feel a bit cheaper, but this one's solid. Not impressed by this. The world's largest charging flap cause this is the electric version. You can get a petrol version. It's pretty much identical. I'll come to that in a bit though. But why do we need this big flap? Anyhow, we have some weird contours here. I'm not sure how I feel about that bit. Cameraman Lewis likes it. I quite like these bits though. These like finny bits for the tail lights. You can hey, how you doing? Yeah, so, I'm just hanging out in my garden doing a review of this car. I thought I'd do as a job. Believe it or not, someone pays me to do this madness. Anyhow, at the back of the car, big kind of square. And this is where these tail lights really just give it a little bit more personality because it is just a square rear and chunky bottom of a car. That's all I have to say on the matter. The entry-level petrol C5 Aircross starts from just under £30,500, which is broadly the same as the Kia Sportage and Nissan Qashqai. Higher speech cars with more kit are almost £36,000 and the plug-in hybrid is almost £39,000. The electric EC5, like this one I'm reviewing here, starts at just over £34,000, but this is the range-topping max trim with a few optional extras, including blue paint and bigger wheels. It costs £40,000. So, does it feel worth this much on the inside? So, I quite like the design and the way you got like this straight line, then the central console there with the infotainment screen in vertical, which I think is better for sat-nav than horizontal layout. Some weird things going on with the speakers, but they do look kind of cool. And I like the fact that this material has texture on it, so it feels nice and squidgy. I mean, these plastics are a bit hard and plasticky and on the door tops, but this stuff has soft touch material, which is good. And this is soft underneath the armrest, but this other stuff is plasticky, but it's not terrible. And it all feels very, very solid. No shake in that. So, the infotainment screen has fairly decent definition on it. And you can actually customize these widgets and move them around and choose different ones for shortcut options. Have I just turned it off accidentally? Come back on. Come back to me. There we come back. There we go. It's in energy saving mode. Well, stop saving energy. I'm trying to do blooming video. Okay, so, the infotainment system is quite easy to use, but yeah, you're going to use your phone, aren't you? So, Android Auto, I've got it hooked up here. Let it boot up. There we go. Look, wee zippy zip zip. But there is a slight problem. Some of your climate controls are here, like you have fan speed. You can just go straight into the menu, some shortcut buttons. But ultimately, you are going to have to press the screen. It's not terrible cause they're pretty much on screen the whole time. However, if you want to turn on the heated seats, which you have on this top specification car, you have to do this. You have to come out of Android Auto and then you can operate your seats. And then you go back into Android Auto by pressing that up there. Great. Now, you've also got this main digital driver's display. It's quite good graphics. Now, to change what's displayed on that screen, annoyingly, you actually have to go into this menu like this and go, oh, where is it? Settings, customization, display, customization, customized driver display, and then you can choose these different looks. And to be fair, the way it's designed is a little bit fussy. Like, the speed is probably not as big as you'd like. Why can't I just control that with a button on the steering wheel? While the graphics are sharper on this, I actually prefer the functionality of the DIG driver display on the Peugeot 3008. And to check out my in-depth review of that car, click on the pop-out banner that will scan the QR code on screen. What I do like though is the heads-up display. So, it uses really big digits for your speed, so it's super clear and easy to see. Now, the rest of it is quite nice, as you can see. Normally, I'm not a big fan of shiny plastics, but they've got this kind of like Citroen logo in it, so you don't notice if it's scratched or marked quite so much as other black shiny plastics. Storage is alright, but we got some storage under there, and I like the fact it's like dual opening, so you can have your armrest there and someone can go mess around in that cubby if they want to while you don't have to move your arm. Don't know if that's ever a scenario that really happens, but just thought I'd point it out. You got a cup holder there. It's not very big, and you got your wireless charging pad there. Underneath here, you got some more storage, and you got your USB-Cs and a 12VT socket. In here is the glove box. Actually, it's a decent enough size. There is a little bit of a recess there because that is where the fuse box is, but it's not terrible. Door bins are big, as I'll illustrate with a big bottle. Look, 2 bowl fits no problem at all, and the seating position is fairly good, and there's enough for adjustment in the steering wheel. This one has electric seats. For the driver. The passenger one is manually operated. The seats themselves, I like the material on them. The way they're kind of like squidgy and soft, nicely contoured. They feel comfortable. There's lots of comfort features in here, such as big mirrors with soft, flattering lighting, which don't show up your wrinkles too much, and I appreciate that. You need to head over to Carouwel right now to check out our amazing Black Friday deals. You can save up to £9,000 on a new car. Plus, if you sell your current car through Carouwel, you'll be able to get our AC breakdown cover for just £3 a month. You won't be able to get it cheaper anywhere else, but you better hurry and head over to Carouwel right now because the offers end 1st of December. Follow the link in the description of this video. The back seats of the Citroen C5 Aeros are pretty blooming spacious, really good headroom, really good knee room. The seats, like the ones in the front, very, very comfy. On mid-spec levels upwards, you can even recline them slightly, which is nice. Also, there's plenty of foot space, and while the batteries for this one are underneath the floor, the seats don't feel too close to the floor, so you still have decent under-thigh support, so that's good. This particular seat is quite low down because that's how I like to drive. But if someone drives with their seats a bit more upright, there's loads of foot space. That's really quite good. As for carrying 3 in the back at once, well, the middle seat feels quite comfy. But everyone jump in. Come on, James. You know the drill. It's a little bit tight shoulder-wise. Maybe if you want something bigger, might want to look at a Skoda Kodiaq perhaps. To check out my in-depth review of that and the best offers on that car through Carouwel, click on the pop-out banner up there or scan the QR code on screen. But other than that, how's your headroom? Yeah. Good leg room. Yeah, all rosy. Okay, jump out. Obviously, you have an armrest here, exposed cup holders, unfortunately. And you always have this tray thing for putting mobile phones and tablets and stuff like that. You have some C-pockets there, and there's ones there for once again mobile phones going into. Got 2 USB-Cs there and a 12VT socket. A pointless little tray there, and another little pointless tray there as well. Big door bins which will fit a large bottle, and the ice fix and points here. Yeah, they're behind zips which are a bit awkward to undo. Bit stiff. I'm always fearful of like just breaking the zip and feeling like oh god that's just going to be awkward. Let's try and fit a baby seat. I think it's going to be rather simple. It's over here. Whack this in. 1. That was easier than I thought it would be. Oh, come on. Where's the other one? Get in the hole. This is the problem with this type of design. I guess once you fit it, you're probably not going to remove it that often, but sometimes you are jumping from car to car and moving child seats around if you're a two-car family. Where the bloody hell is the hole? There, got it, finally. But look, plenty of space. I'm pretty sure you don't have to move that. Oh, wait, what? Oh, wait a minute. This seat is quite a bit further back than my usual driving position. This is not fair. Let me pull this level with my driving seat. That's more like it. See, that's fair. We didn't set the car up properly before doing this. Sorry. Citroen, sorry, didn't want to make your car look bad. Sorry, let's check out the booze on the Citroen C5 Aeros. So, this top spec version has keyless entry and it seems to work every single time. They don't always on these cars. They can be temperamental. Anyway, boot capacity is 565 L. A Kia Sportage has a slightly bigger boot. If you want to see my in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner up there. It's on the QR code on screen as well. And you can see how much you can save on that car through car while you're there. So look, no load lip, which is good. We have quite a bit of underfloor storage. Can I alter the height of this? Yes, I can. Now I'm going to see how many of these cases I can fit in. Right, they have to fit under the load cover. Am I putting them in the best way possible? Can I get all 8 in? It's looking promising at the moment. Is it? Oh, bear with me. There's one left, but I think if I do a bit of reconfiguration, 5 minutes later, will it shut? I'm just leaning here. Everything's cool. That's impressive. All 8. We need some more suitcases. What a big boot. Okay, what else to show you in here? Well, look, let's get this out the way. Oh, blind me. Some load cover. So, we should have a 12VT socket somewhere. Yeah, there it is. There we go. Couple of tie-down points, but not many. You have this little gripper here for weight. If I put this back onto there. Look, that holds that up there. There we go. So, you can mess around in there. Get rid of these cables. There's always cables, isn't there? There's no spacer in your spare wheel. It's just fold down the rear seats. So, you have to lean in. Ow, they're spring loaded. Almost took my thumb off. Like that. But then you do have a continuous floor look without too much problem sliding things to the front like that. But will this fit underneath the false floor? Come on. Oops, sorry. Yes, it will. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And that brings on to 5 annoying things about the Citroen C5 Aeros. This is probably the worst place to ever put black plastic trim because you're going to touch it quite a lot. In fact, look at all this. Look at these light palm prints and stuff. It's also going to scratch because the back window is long but not very deep. Means you can only fit a very small windscreen wiper. So when it gets wet, you can only wipe this bit. Give me a wipe. Just wipe. Don't jizz. Look more than it just doesn't even touch this area here. Oh, here. Alright, you've made your point. Yeah, I know there's a cup holder there, but you might be using it for something else or the passengers might have put the drink in there. Yeah, so, if you got a cup of coffee, you might end up having to put it like I don't know here. It's not ideal. Like, and then you're like, how do I get to it? Having to do a reach around and then risk of just like going whack you in the head. Oh, I really enjoy doing that. Where is it gone? Where's the mug? Yeah, don't you laugh. The little ports where they've injection molded this panel. Look, you can see there, right, these little indentations. They seem to get filled with polish. So, if you polish your car, you're going to get this all over the back of it. Then you have to pick it out. Not great. The design of the seat with the integrated seat belt holder at the bottom here and this shroud means that depending on where someone has their seat, you can get this sort of like separation with this wedge where you can actually get your feet caught underneath it when you're trying to get out. Lewis just did it get out the car. It's quite funny. He did something like this. Just like I was. It's not all bad, though. Here's 5 good things about the Citroen C5 Aeros. The doors have hidden recessed window sills. So, if you look down there, you can actually see the seal. It's a bit like the car design version of the infinity pool. There is a vent in this central storage cubby to blow cold air from the air conditioning so you can chill your drinks. Is that it there? You see it. See that? Where's the there it is? There you go. Told you. Hey, how you doing? So, I got the top of the range Citroen C5 Aeros. That means it comes with the Matrix LED headlamps. Guess what they can do? Yeah, that's right. They can blank out part of their beams so they don't dazzle oncoming drivers. You don't have to keep on going main beam, low beam, main beam, low beam. Just does it automatically. It's pretty good. The car has inbuilt ChatGPT, so it makes the voice commands more intuitive. Also, you can just ask it random questions that pop into your head when you're driving along, such as which animal has the largest testicles. The animal with the largest testicles relative to body size is the Brazilian tapir. I would have thought it would have been the sperm whale. You can get the car with a vehicle to load, which means that you can actually plug an adapter in there and run like household appliances off it like microwaves and all that kind of stuff. You can even charge another electric car from it. However, it's not available on this car yet. It will be available next year, but I want to know whether they'll retrofit a car if you buy it now with that technology. We tried to call Citroen's press office, but no one answered. But I've got an idea. If I buy a brand new C5 Aeros right now, it doesn't have vehicle to load. Citroen says they're going to fit it to the vehicles available next year. Will they retrofit the ones bought before then with that technology or not? While specific details on retrofitting may vary, car manufacturers often aim to support their customers. It's best to check with Citroën directly for confirmation on retrofitting capabilities for the C5 Aeros. Which animal has the largest bottom? The animal with the largest bottom is the blue whale. These magnificent creatures can weigh up to 200 tons and have a large rounded body that contributes to their impressive size. Anyway, getting back to the car, it turns out that Citroën will not retrofit the vehicle to load feature to existing versions of the C5 Aeros. So, if you've already bought one, I'm afraid you're out of luck. But you know what? If you're looking for a large premium feeling SUV, but you're willing to consider used cars, I found some amazing deals on CarWow, including this Porsche Macan for around half the price of a new Citroën C5 Aeros. Okay, so it's a bit old and it's got some mileage on it, but it pays your money. It takes your choice, though you've got to be careful when you're buying a used car and to always check its history. So I recommend using Car Vertical because here's a Car Vertical report of a different Porsche Macan. And while it's fine for things like finance and mileage and it doesn't seem to have been crashed, it is marked as being stolen. You wouldn't want to buy that, would you? So, make sure whenever you're buying a used car that it hasn't got a dodgy past by using a Car Vertical history check and use the code CarWow for 20% off. One of the great things about the C5 Aeros is that there's something underneath the bonnet for everybody. So, you can get a 1.2L turbocharged petrol engine with 145 horsepower. It's front-wheel drive automatic gearbox and it does 0 to 60 this quickly. Alternatively, you can go for a plug-in hybrid. So, that's a 1.6L 4-cylinder turbo petrol mated to an electric motor. It can do 50 miles on electric power alone, has 195 horsepower, and can do N60 in this amount of time. And then there's this, the electric version, which has an electric motor driving the front wheels. Obviously, there's no gearbox cause it's electric. It has 213 horsepower and can 0 to 60 in 8.9 seconds. But what is the reality? I'm going to use my specialist timing gear to time the car. I'm going to put it into sports mode. I don't think we really need a sports mode on this car, but there we go. Right, 3, 2, 1 launch. Steady. Steady as she goes. And that's the 60 coming up now. It's kind of there or thereabouts, isn't it? A little bit quicker, but not by much. Put it power down. Okay, no wheel slip. Satisfactory considering how heavy this car actually is. 2.1 tons. It's quite heavy, really, isn't it? Obviously, away from the lights and to 60 miles per hour is all well and good. And it's like a standard test we like to use in the trade. However, what really matters is what's this car's like performance when you're putting your foot down when you're just driving and need to overtake or joining a busy motorway. Well, let's time it from 30 to 70 miles per hour. Here we go. 30. Floor it. How long is it taking? It's this last bit that's a little bit longer, but it's all right. And for overtaking, it's adequate. I think the problem is this motor is having to do a lot of work to shift that mass. Oh, look, there's a man walking down a dual carriageway. A 70 miles per hour dual carriageway. That's sensible. Now, while that performance was okay, this car is hampered by its weight somewhat. I mean, 2.1 tons is a lot of weight. The 1.2 petrol is half a ton lighter. So, how's that going to affect the braking performance? Well, I'm going to find out by doing a brake test from 60 to 0 miles per hour. Hopefully, these good quality Michelin tires will help this car. Okay, here we go then. Looking for around 35 meters, but then this is quite a heavy car, so 36 will be acceptable. 3, 2, 1. Coming into the braking zone now. Whoa, it moved about a little bit there cause it's got squidgy suspension. It went up like that a bit, but it did the job. 33 meters. Well, the braking performance when you have to make an emergency stop is very good. Often electric cars can have quite jerky or inconsistent braking because you got Regan effect and then actual friction braking trying to work together. Let's find out what it's like with this car. See if it makes it a little bit annoying to use in town. Well, when you press it steadily, You're all in the Regan and it's quite a long squidgy travel, but then you get to this point where the friction brakes clearly kick in and then it's like a bit of a jolt. So, yeah, and then there it is. Sorry, Louis. So, they're not the smoothest. They do take a bit of getting used to, squidgy, then all of a sudden lots of braking. We'll get there in the end with brake pedals just feel totally natural with Regan and yeah. Anyhow, let's move on. Well, in terms of maneuverability, it's actually pretty decent. So, the turning circle is this, but let's give it a go. I think that it's still going to be just fine for this kind of thing. So, we got light steering past this discovery. That should be fine. Now, one thing is it's quite hard to actually judge where the bottom part of the bumper is on this car. Even though you got a good view forward, it's quite like a square nose to it. So, you're not entirely sure where you are lower down, if that makes any form of sense. It didn't actually, did it? It's not square, it's like curved. And then if it was square, it'd be easy. Anyhow, the rest of the visibility is pretty good. What I really like on this car is the fact that you've got these little extra windows in the back pillar. So, when you're pulling out or like trying to reverse out of places, you can actually see what's going on. The back window is quite wide, so you see a lot. But if you've got a really low sports car behind you, because the actual bottom of the window is quite high, you're not going to know it's there. The petrol and hybrid versions of the C5 Aeros have pretty crude rear suspension. So, it's a torsion beam where the two wheels are linked together. The electric though gets independent rear suspension, and that should improve the way it feels to drive. One clear benefit of that independent setup is that if one of the wheels hits a bump, it doesn't send a shockwave through to the other wheels. So, the car doesn't skip sideways or something. It actually stays fairly composed. Now, the suspension has a nice kind of glide to it through undulations in the road. Only when the surface gets patchy, like now does it get a bit fidgety, but I don't find it uncomfortable. The steering is pretty decent, points the car exactly where you want it to go, and generally, I'm quite impressed with the way this goes down the road. Now you can just see how big it feels on the road by trying to get past this tractor. Can I do it confidently? Yeah, that is good. Do you know what's also good? It seems to grip on pretty well. Even though it's got this semi-soft like feel to it and the fact that it's heavy, it can hold on pretty well in the corners. Look at that. I mean, we get quite a bit of lean, but lean isn't necessarily bad. Lean is only bad if the car starts to run wide, but this one doesn't. I think Citroën have done a good job. You know, they're dealing with quite a lot of weight because of the big battery, which you need if you want to get that range. But they've got the balance right between comfort and handling for this type of car. So, anyone who drives it is going to be able to go quick enough and not feel like it's wayward. Yet, most of the time when they're just pottering about, they're going, oh, this is quite nice. A car such as this really needs to be able to be a very comfy long-distance cruiser. And being electric, you're going to want to be able to get a decent amount of range out of it. So, let's find out how good it is for longer journeys. Well, do you know what? In terms of like road noise and wind noise, it's not bad. I'm doing 70 miles per hour here on this dual carriageway and I'm not raising my voice. You can hold conversations dead easy. So, that's good. Generally, the seats, yeah, you can go a long distance in these. That's also good. In terms of the range that you can go on a full charge, well, it's supposed to do 3.6 meters per kilowatt hour and give you a range of about 320 meters on a full charge. This one is actually doing 3.1 meters per kilowatt hour. And when I multiply that by the usable battery capacity of 73 kilowatt hours, I get a real-world range of just under 230 miles. That should be pretty adequate for most people. But Citroën will soon offer a long-range version of the C5 Aeros with a much bigger 97 kilowatt-hours battery. According to official test figures, this should be able to do 420 miles on a full charge. But based on my experience with a standard range car, I expect the reality to be more likely around the 300-mile mark. Now, if you want to go further, I picked an electric car that can go a little bit further than this one. So, if range is your thing, click on the pop-out banner up there or scan the QR code on screen now to watch a review of that car. Hint, it's a Kia EV3. So, then what's my final verdict on the Citroën C5 Aircross? Should you avoid it, consider it, shortlist it, or just go right ahead and buy it? Well, if you're after a big, comfy family car that's got a quirky design, a nice interior, and is actually decent to drive, plus